Yo, welcome to Red Marker Radio, episode 3 with Lily Scott here.
They finally got a woman. Round of applause.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we...
What?
It's about time.
It is about time.
We should have opened with that. I forgot we even... Can you shut up? Thank you.
Okay, we can redo it. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, no, that was hilarious. I want to
Okay, cue the intro.
Get the intro.
So, Lily,
Hey.
welcome to Red Marker Radio. We actually haven't filmed an episode in a long time, so it's good that you're here.
Yeah.
And to just kind of introduce you and start this podcast off, you are, one of the main female performers, or were one of the main female performers
Okay.
at Heritage.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
Yeah, it's all true. Yeah. And
I don't know about Maine. I was Maine like my senior year, but every other year I was just.
well, I
was
mean,
Maine,
you're
just a
involved
girl.
in it. You're like, heavily involved in it.
Yes,
More
yes,
involved than
yes.
maybe most people.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be going into that a little bit. Some of your biggest role being Ursula, and some more choir stuff, being a teacher. So all of that is coming up. All of that is great.
So tune in. Watch
So
till the
tune in.
end.
Yeah.
Watch till the
I
end.
want to start off with kind of working my way down.
Okay.
You've seen the documentary, obviously.
Of course, it's
and
amazing.
Thank you for having the hype on seeing the documentary. I felt like
Yeah.
it was like you being there to like spawn the hype was what
Dude.
we needed.
Yeah.
I
needed
am the
it.
hype. I'm the hype master.
It's so true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being Ursula, I mean, in the documentary, you said that you didn't ever think that you would come to this moment, but then it just happened.
No.
I mean, just explain what happened at the beginning of auditions and then take us through kind of your journey in that.
Yeah, of course. So it sounds dramatic, but legitimately I didn't think I'd ever have that big of a role. It's not a lack of self-confidence. It's more of like, oh, this is just like crazy, dude. It happens to be one of my like favorite Disney villains. And I was like, oh, this would be so cool. And so I was ensemble I only did 5 shows at Heritage.
Only 5.
4. Excuse me. I meant 4. I did Sound of Music, where I was an ensemble nun. I did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, my favorite show by far. And
Relatable.
I was
It's the best.
ensemble. And then we did Addams Family, where I was ensemble. And then Little Mermaid came around and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna shoot for it. I'm just
Right.
gonna shoot for it. And we're just gonna see. Like, I wasn't expecting anything. I was just like, okay, I think I can do it. The funny thing is I'm a really high soprano. I am not an alto by any means. And I don't know if you guys know, but Ursula is
Bass.
low. And so I was like, you know what, we're just gonna try it. Like, it was kind of like I'm trying out for Ursula. So auditions roll around and I actually practiced. Like, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go all out. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all out.
Right.
So I practiced over the summer and I was like trying to lower my range and everything. And like, I don't know if that's a thing, but
What?
like
Lowering
lowering
your
your
range?
range?
Yeah.
think
Well,
it
I try
can be.
to like heighten my range and extend my range, and
Yeah.
I would say lowering your range is the thing.
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I showed up and I did my singing audition and I went home and I was like, Mom, I did good. Like, I've never felt that good about an audition.
Literally, me doing Man in Yellow do the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
Everything that
By
you're,
the way-
everything that you're saying, I can like more like so relate
Yeah.
to. Like, literally, we're in the same boat.
Okay.
I am like you and Blake Cito with one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel okay. I'm not tooting my own horn, but that's what I've been
Toot the
told.
horn.
I will do the horn.
Toot,
The horn
Bronson.
will be tooted. It will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Man in Yellow was fun. Anyway, keep
I'm
going.
so excited to see that. Go see Tuck Everlasting in
Go
November.
see Tuck
I'll be
Everlasting.
there. Not in it, watching. Anyway, back to auditions. So singing auditions, I was like, you know what? I actually think I did okay. But I didn't want to get my hopes up because,
Right.
you don't want to become proud. You want to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
humble, right? You want to be like, okay, but it's okay if this doesn't happen. Dancing auditions come around. I don't know. You guys know. I am not a fan of dancing. I'm not graceful by any means. I'm very clunky when it comes to dance. I don't know.
It was
about
the
right-
pause before clunky.
clunky. Yeah, so I'm pretty clunky. So dance auditions stressed me out, but it wasn't that bad. Like Mr. Ray is so cool. Shout out to you, Mr. Ray. He's so cool. He's so patient, and the people in the cast or in the auditions were like helping. So it was good. Well, I came home and I was like, Mom, I don't know if I did good enough to get Ursula. And she's like, well, Ursula doesn't dance. I was like, oh, you're right. And so I got a callback, and I had never got a callback in my life. And when I tell you, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It was seriously, it was crazy. It was just crazy. And I was like, okay, so this is real. I'm actually doing it. So I shoved out callbacks, and I was like, oh shoot, I'm screwed. I had two of the greats,
Bella and Caitlin.
Bella and Caitlin.
Caitlin
Hale.
Yeah.
Love you, Caitlin Casper. Caitlin Hale. Caitlin Hale is incredible. She did amazing as Potiphar's wife the year before. And I was like, dude, you totally could do Ursula. And then Bella is just like,
But you don't even need to describe Bella in words.
I don't even need to describe Bella in words. Bella is, I look up to her so much. She's so talented. She's so talented.
Bella's awesome.
And it's not me saying I'm not talented. Again, like people are like, oh, don't be hard on yourself. I'm like, I'm not being hard on myself. I'm just saying like, these are talented people I'm against. So callbacks end, and I came home and I was like, Mom, I don't think I'm doing it. I don't think I'm getting it. I don't think it's gonna happen. Just because I respect those two so much, and they are so well versed in theater. I'm just a girl who does like theater for fun, and it's just fun for me. Anyway, I come in the morning, I look at the cast list, and I'm Ursula. When I tell you, it was a crazy moment. I was like on the verge of tears. I was like calling Mom. I was like, Mom, I did it. And she's like, oh my gosh. And like screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I looked at it when Blake went and saw that he was Prince Eric. And like, because he's my friend. And Jace, like Jace's reaction was awesome. And Gavin, like I was like, I'm in a cast with all of my friends.
Dude.
This the coolest feeling.
Yes.
When you can be like, oh, we're going to have the most fun. This is going to be our memories.
Right.
Like my senior memories, half of them are Little Mermaid. And it's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Half of mine are going to be Tuck because all of our friends are in Tuck.
That's so cool.
It is so... I wish I kind of had the origin story of getting Man in Yellow. But the thing is that I went to callbacks because I got a callback from Man in Yellow. I was actually the only person that got a callback for it.
Oh,
and I
wow.
didn't even read a single line. I was like there for the whole 2 hours and I didn't read a single line. And Miss Peoples was like, oh yeah, you're here. I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, yeah, we kind of already casted you. I was like, oh.
That's
I was like,
crazy.
sick.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
anyway.
So as far as the actual performance in Little Mermaid, being there on stage, doing your lines, doing whatever you're doing, I mean, how was that kind of interaction?
It was really hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had never memorized lines before, and Ursula's music is hard. There was like one song. It was Daddy's Little Angel.
The note at the
Reprise.
end? Are you talking about the note at the end? Like, wasn't there like a crazy note you had to hold or something? Wait, who am I thinking of? Am I thinking
that's
of a
not
different
me.
person? Whatever. I'm
I
trolling.
mean, it
Keep
was.
going.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot because Ursula uses a lot of inflections, like "Whoa, blah, 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 blah." And that is like it was kind of hard because I was like, how do I portray this in the right way? This is a beloved Disney character. Don't screw it up because
Yeah.
it's not like people are coming like they don't know who this villain is.
Yeah, no
and,
one
like, a
knows Man in
random-
Yellow. I'm just...
Yeah,
Right.
it's not like a rare or random like villain. It's Ursula, the sea witch. I'm like, I have a lot of expectations. I have to say, I think I didn't really work with like the whole cast all the time because I was on my own doing my own little thing, trying to figure out what the heck I was gonna do. Jaden Baker and Charity Thomas were so supportive. They're my little eagles. I love them forever. They were so nice. They were just like, we vibed. We understood like we have something to do and we're gonna do it right. So
Jaden.
that is Jaden. Love him. So comes the show and we're on stage and before we did a little like handshake thing. We did high fives where we swam up. So cute. And I think that what made my performances I think they were good.
Yeah, they were
think they're
great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What made them so good was that I had the support. I had the support of the cast.
Right.
Like there was no one that was like
Like...
antagonistic.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that the right word?
Yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
just like everyone was so supportive of me especially in my eels, we were just like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do so good. We're gonna do so good. And we let fuel us, and it was just so incredible. It was a blur. I couldn't tell you what happened on stage. I couldn't.
Right, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just that's
It's
the art of
just-
performing. Is that
Yeah, you kind of go up and you just kind of get like caught in a little bit of a trance, and then you just kind of stay there, and your brain just goes on autopilot mode.
Yeah, it's
kinda
crazy.
crazy.
Brains are beautiful. Like, no, seriously. Like the fact that you can memorize so many songs and so many lines, and then your brain just rolls with it. It's like it's on autoplay. It's crazy, and it's just so good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You mentioned a little bit about the singing. I mean, talking about your choir experience.
Yeah.
Go into that a little bit.
So, in my time at Heritage, I was a part of every single choir, not simultaneously. That'd be crazy. No voice. I also lost my voice over the summer because if you don't use it, you lose it. So
Right.
sing over the summer. But my freshman year I was in chorale, which is the lowest of the choirs.
Wait, do you have to start with chorale?
When I went there, you did.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, that's totally false. I just lied. I could have auditioned for concert choir or gateway. Jazz and show didn't
You
exist.
had to audition for concert?
I did have to audition for concert.
Wow.
I was 1 point off of gateway, but we'll get to that.
Dang. Okay.
But I came into the school like a fourth into my freshman year, so I was too late to audition. So I just had to go to chorale.
Right.
But when I went to Campo Verde, where I came from, I was in like a little bit higher of a choir. So it was just different, and I was kind of like a bum about it. I was like, ugh, chorale. Everyone else who was in concert, I can sing just as well as them. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Chorale was so fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like people like dish on chorale. It's so fun. You just have like a good environment because it was just good.
Yeah.
And then my sophomore year, I auditioned. I was 1 point off of gateway, so I was in concert. I think concert choir was so fun. Each of these choirs are different because everyone has a different work ethic. In chorale, a lot of people in chorale like are just taking it so they can get their fine art credit. And like, cause like singing is easy. It's not easy.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not. Miss Albrechtson works you to the bone. Anyway, then my junior year comes around. I auditioned for Gateway, but I get placed in Jazz and Show. See, my goal in freshman year was to get to Gateway. So this was like, oh my gosh, it's taking forever. But you know, I didn't give up obviously because then
Yeah.
that would be silly. I
Yeah.
can't like
Right.
stop working on something.
Same.
So I was in Jazz and Show choir. That was the first year of Jazz and Show choir. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It felt unorganized at times because we were all like, what are we doing? I'm not a dancer, reminder. But I had to dance. You have to dance in Jazz and Show choir. We did like full on dances. It was crazy. So senior year comes around. I'm in Gateway and Jazz and Show. I've reached my goal. That's so hard, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I'll
like it
bet.
sounds like oh, poor me. I'm in 2 choirs. It was so hard because you have so many events you have to go to.
Right.
And
Yeah. It's like dance company.
It's like dance company. Yeah.
Dance company goes to a ton of events apparently.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah, we went to like competitions and we went to like retreats and stuff, which were so fun. They're all really good memories. And I think choir was really good for me because that's how I made my friends. Like Jace Rogers, one of my really great friends, met him in choir. Gavin Palmer, met him in choir. Like those are 2 like rock solid people. Bella, I actually met Bella in chorale in our freshman year. We joke because we didn't like each other at all. Like we were like it was like, oh my gosh, not her. And then we're like besties. Anyway, choir is just a really good experience. So if you've never done choir, I recommend because
Yeah.
it's just like it's a good like camaraderie building. It's like theater, but
Right, yeah,
with
yeah,
less
With
weirdness.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
How do you describe that? It's like, a
the
pinpoint.
stereotype about theater kids is true.
Yeah.
Most of them are.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not a theater kid, so I don't
we
know.
know,
for-
Brighton.
But yeah, you understand the whole point behind that. Before we begin on, now paid sponsorship, paid advertising. As you can see in front of us, we have 4 bottles
Oh shoot! Ow!
of our bottled spring water, Red Marker water.
I'm the only one drinking it apparently.
Are you ready? Oh,
No, I'm not.
let's cheers. Can we cheers? Okay, can you not though? I'm just kidding. Can we cheers?
Yes.
Yes.
For
There you go.
to chorale choir.
The chorale
Chorale
choir.
choir. Choked.
It's that bad, huh?
Red market. Yeah. Okay, here's my paid. Do you guys see what this is? This is a.
Oh yeah.
I have, like, water
We'll show it
dripping
after the
on my face.
episode too.
Okay. This is a rare bottle of Red Marker water. This was the first rollout of Red Marker water.
It
if I'm
was,
correct.
Exactly.
The first rollout of Red Marker water. I was privileged enough to get a bottle. It has signatures from the legends such as Austin Layton. Austin Layton wrote Crabs on here. Bella Walker. Bella Walker's on here. Blake Zitto is also on here. Bronson, of course, and Brighton. And why did I keep this is the question. Because they're going to be famous one day. And then when I am like old and decrepit and have no money, this is how I'm going to get it.
Exactly.
So if you're feeling parched, if you're feeling, it's hot out there, guys, drink Red Marker water.
Available
Back to the show.
nowhere else. Only on this.
You kind of have to
in
be
places you can't reach.
You kind of have to be relevant to get one. I don't know.
You have to be popular. You have to be relevant. You have to
Yeah,
be in
guys.
this podcast.
Everything I was in high school.
Right.
Popular, hot. Anyway.
Okay. So going more into like the not like the serious side or like the more the career side.
Yeah, of course.
You are a teacher. I actually didn't know this
I'm
until
a
like
heritage teacher.
a heritage teacher. I didn't know this
actually-
until
yeah.
a few months ago. Like, what do you do?
So I work at Liberty Caves, which is like the child of heritage. That's across the street. It's
Right,
a
yeah.
blue building across the
I
street. It's
forgot
not
it
the
was
elementary
called-
school.
Yeah.
It's the preschool. So I am an assistant teacher at the preschool. Yeah, so I work at Heritage. I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of weird when you're like working and then you look out the window and you see your high school.
Yeah.
It's like losers over there. Yeah, so I see some of the high schoolers sometimes because child development comes.
Yeah.
It is such a cool thing. So I want to be an elementary school teacher. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I want to be an elementary school teacher when I grow up. That's what I'm working on currently. And so I was like, well, I just need to get some classroom experience because like with the college classes I'm taking too, I need service learning and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. So I don't know if y'all know Coach Levitt.
That
he-
guy.
You know that guy, the bald guy? Love you. He is actually like in my church ward. And he drove me to school every day in a school van. So that's fun.
Sick.
Yeah. And I was talking to him one day and he was like, oh, I'll just text Kristen. That's my boss. I'll just text Kristen and say you want to work there. And I was like, oh, okay. So we text her and I come into class that day because I had child development. And she's like, okay, fill out an application. And I just was like, oh, okay. So I filled out an application. I didn't even need an interview because she already knew me, and I got the job. I was a heritage teacher before I graduated. I was officially.
That
it was
is
officially,
hilarious.
And yeah, I didn't start working yet, but I was officially like it was listed as I am an assistant teacher.
Wow.
So it's kind of weird, and it's really cool. Obviously, like work confidentiality exists, but like the kiddos there are so cute. Yesterday was my birthday, and they all sang to me.
Oh my
And I was like,
goodness.
oh my gosh, I've reached my goal. And it's just like it literally comes down to networking. Like you can get the job you want. You have to just know people. You have to
Right,
know
yeah.
the people in your field. So especially if you're in high school right now and you're watching
Same.
this, high schoolers, nerds.
We're having a little too much fun with this
Guys,
episode.
I'm sorry, I'm so funny. Okay. Especially if you're in high school, like start getting to know people that are in your field that you want to go into.
Right.
And like the speakers that come for the seniors, they're actually useful. How most of them are like
They're actually useful.
I know it's shocking, but they are they are really useful. Like I know one of my friends is like going into politics, and I mean, we usually have politicians that come. Let's be so for real.
Yeah.
We've only had one so far.
Really?
Just Earl Taylor, and that's it.
Is he a politician?
No. Sorry. I was like,
I think he's like the retired CEO.
no,
dude.
he is. We've only had one speaker, only one
okay.
person at all.
And that was Earl Taylor.
And that was Earl Taylor.
He's funny.
yeah, he was
It's funny. He doesn't like public transit or libraries.
He doesn't
And that's
like
all I got out
libraries.
of
I don't
that.
even remember that
thing.
much about what he said, but
Dude, those lunchtime assemblies were
quite.
quite.
Quite, yeah.
We're quite.
They were quite. But like if you're interested in something that speaker's saying, go talk to them.
Right.
Be like, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I'm interested in this. Do you have any tips for getting into the industry? We had a real estate guy come, and I was sitting next to someone who was like, oh, I was kind of thinking about real estate. And I was like, so go talk to them. That is the perfect person to talk to. Just be like, what are some things in the industry that you wish you knew? Or like, that's the point of them coming, is to talk about careers. That's really what it is. And my mom is a preschool teacher. It's in her home, but
Same.
really?
Preschool
Dude.
teacher in our home.
That was so legendary.
Yeah, dude. Almost everything you've said, I'm like, I agree. Like literally job experience.
Yeah.
Okay, little rant, just a second.
Please.
I was, you were talking about, I was like, oh yeah, and I just knew people, and then I got the job. I'm like, literally same. I work for Paragon now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Austin's
I've
like,
never been there. I need to go.
it is sick. It's so cool.
I need to go.
It's pretty cool. Anyway,
Plug for Paragon.
Plug
I
for
love you, Mr.
Paragon.
Layton.
it was just awesome because Austin like knew I was just trying to find a job. He's like, oh, you just work at Paragon. I was like,
Yeah.
actually, and then I just filled an application and got in.
That's how I
Boom.
got my first job. Was my dad worked at a DI as a truck driver, and I was like, dude, I just can't get a job. I'm not struggling so much. He's like, you can talk to my boss. Like just talk to them. And that, like, maybe that sounds like I got a job because of my dad. No, I got a job because of my work ethic. But like it was like, oh, it pays to know people.
Yeah.
It pays to know people.
Yeah, it does.
I knew someone who knew other people, like friends of friends. Is like, it's just, you need a network. That's the most important thing, I think, especially in high school. If you start early, you're going to have a job like that. The job you want, the dream job you want. So
Literally your experience.
that is my professional opinion as a professional heritage teacher.
As a professional heritage teacher who possibly caused the heritage gas leak. You like what I did there?
I do. That's great.
A little bit before the episode, we were kind of talking about how you wanted to go into that. Obviously, anyone that's not a current freshman knows about the famous heritage gas leak incident.
Gas leak.
And last summer, we thought the building would explode. So,
Dude, I'm so mad.
And we were standing like 20 feet away, like in the parking lot.
know. They're
yeah.
like, get
We're like,
behind
okay.
the truck.
Yeah, it's like we gotta get behind the truck filled with gas so that if it explodes, we're fine because it won't explode because it's not filled with gas. I'm like, yeah. Yep.
No, Jack claimed, he was like, I should have gone up to one of those firefighters and whispered in his ear, don't be a hero.
I love Jack Peoples. How is he doing?
He's doing great.
He's the same person.
He's the same
Yeah.
person.
Anyway,
So,
what's your side of the story?
my side of the story? Okay. I mean, is this over dramatic saying I think I caused the heritage gas leak?
No.
No, it's not. I'm never over dramatic. So we actually had went down. It was my jazz and show hour. So we had went down. It's the last week of school for seniors. So it was like, oh no, we're leaving choir. Like, oh my goodness, that was.
I had to say the word choir too, which is pretty funny.
Anyway, so we had went down to sing to the office as we normally do. Not my favorite thing, but it gets me out of my comfort zone. So we're going and we're like, let's all get in the elevator. And I was like, yes, let's go get in the elevator. That's so funny and so goofy. And so so we all like fit in the elevator and I was in charge of like pushing the buttons. Okay. So we like take a selfie in the elevator and I was like, and we were all crammed in there. Okay. And so we go up the elevator and then we go into our classroom and I look out and there's a fire truck. And I turn to the accompanist and I go, did I push the button? She goes, what button? I go, in the elevator, the emergency button. She goes, wouldn't there be an alarm? And I go, I don't know. Because it was like right when we came up to the classroom, like there is instantly a fire truck coming in. And I was like, I don't know. How would I know? She's like, you're probably fine. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I literally sat on the ground and was like, oh my gosh, did I literally call the fire department? I'm going to get kicked out of school. I'm not going to get my diploma. And this is the peak of senior overthinking, like literally. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, oh shoot, I might have pushed like the little button, the red button. You're not supposed to push the red button. We all know this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden on the announcement it goes, evacuate the building immediately. Immediately evacuate the building. And I look over and I go, shoot guys, I'm getting arrested. And so we go out there and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so main character. Like, it's not about me, obviously. But it was just like the little thought in the back of my head. I was like, did I push the button? Turns out, so we get out there and there's like a fire marshal and 3 fire trucks. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is definitely not me. This is not about me, Lily. Go away. And they're like, get behind the truck. Get behind the truck. I'm like, this is 5 feet away from where I was just standing. Like, it's not going to save me. And then, like, no one knows what's happening. The teachers don't know what's happening. Only to find out later that they thought it was a gas leak. Like, there was like an ambulance there or paramedic or whatever. Like, there was a lot of
assistance.
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't think of the word. Emergency vehicles. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emergency vehicles. And I was like, so either someone's dead, the school's about to blow up, or I don't know. Or maybe what actually happened was just the boys' bathroom sewers smelled. And they thought it smelled like gas.
Yep.
Which is such a heritage thing.
That is such a heritage thing to happen. Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh. So someone was the cause of the heritage gas leak. Someone made the smell. It was me. To put it out there, to make it clear, it was not me.
It was not.
It was
Lily
not
Scott.
Yeah. Well, good
That
thing
rhymed.
you have this platform to say it.
I know, just to clear the air so they don't come back at me.
Like, you're literally going on Spotify denying that you caused the heritage gas leak.
I would swear an oath right now that it was not me that caused the heritage gas leak.
Maybe it's just me.
I yap a lot. They probably want to.
That's good.
Okay, so
It like jiggled my cord.
should we all try that after this episode?
Yes, we'll get.
Yeah.
What is it called? B-roll? Is that what it's called?
B-roll.
What is that? What does it actually mean from camera people?
So B-roll is just like imagine if you have a shot of an inanimate object, but usually it's just a shot of something inanimate, or there's 2 ways of doing it. So like just like
It's
if
just
it was
a
just
filler.
a filler,
Yeah.
or if like you were taking a picture of like doing a shot of like people's shoes and people were like dancing in the background.
Okay,
You know what I
so
mean?
I used it completely inaccurately. It's
Yes.
okay. That's the only camera
But
term
it's okay
I know.
because we don't care. But
Okay.
So after every single episode, if you could just like close off with just something to give to the audience, especially some of our graduating seniors.
Yeah, dude, you guys are graduating. You're so old. You
it's so
guys are so ancient.
Yeah.
What?
I don't like
Yeah. I have a few. Can I say a few things? Like I
Yes.
said, I'm a
Yeah, go ahead.
yapper. Let me readjust. There's a few things that I took away from high school. We're gonna get real, guys. Are you ready to get real? No giggles allowed.
Oh wait.
What? Okay, so
Literally.
No, it was just funny. You guys just thought.
Yeah. I'm about to get real here. So a few things there's a few things I just like stayed away from in high school. I stayed away from social media because I am like a big proponent of like, let's not compare ourselves to people, because it's not that it's not realistic. Like, I think that it's great that social media exists. I stayed away from it because I knew that I would be like sucked and be like, oh, this person went and had fun and I wasn't there, or this person looks like this and I don't look like that. And that's like really basic, obviously, but it really helped me through high school because I saw some people who were struggling with comparison, and it was because of social media.
Right.
So I didn't get it till I graduated. And even now I'm like, I'm not going to use it that much just because I don't need that negative energy in my life. Another thing I didn't do is I didn't date in high school. Well, I went on dates, did not date. And I think that actually helped me. I mean, I'm not like boasting that I'm single, but I am single if you're out there and you want to call me up.
That was the weirdest like flip. I didn't date in high school, but I'm single right now.
But I'm an adult now, so I'm just kidding. Don't date me. But I was like, and it actually is really interesting because almost all of my friends had significant others in high school, and I am in no way saying it's bad. I think it's great. For me, I don't think I could have worried about someone else. I needed to focus on me and my personal growth.
That's true.
So
Yep.
true.
Because in high school, I was not ready to have someone else to worry about for their problems. I had my own problems. I'm trying to pass school. I'm trying to be a
too.
person.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find out who I am as a person. Like, what do I like? I'm not going to base it off of someone else's likes. So that's another thing. And then for graduating seniors, you guys, this is for you. Don't skip out on activities in your senior year. Don't do it. Don't sit out of activities. And this is actually for everyone in high school. Don't skip out on activities because, I'm too tired or, well, actually take time for yourself. I take that back. But like, don't skip out because you're like, oh, I'll have this again next week. I'll have this again next week. Whatever. Do everything in high school because right now, all of my friends are leaving on missions. All of my friends are going to college. And there's some things where I'm like, I wish I went to that. Or I wish I stayed the full duration of that party just so I could have more time. Your time is limited. Mm-hmm. Your time with people you love is limited. After high school, things change. People stop talking to you. You stop talking to people. It's just the natural way of life. So if you don't want that to happen right away, you need to make it known that you are in for the long run. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, do the things. Do everything.
Yeah.
Don't sit out of those senior activities like the senior sunrise. I didn't go. I wish I did. Senior sunset, like all those things, do them. Because it seems silly in the moment. It's like, oh, another activity, another this. You're going to miss it. And you're going to miss it a lot. And you're going to miss those people a lot. That's my advice.
All right. Well, that concludes Red Marker Radio episode 3 with Lily Scott.
Featuring a woman. The first and last woman.
Only. No.
This is the last episode we're ever doing.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. One woman was enough. Just kidding.
It's cut.
All right, that whole last sequence was pretty funny.
That was good.
That was pretty great. I mean, really, that sums up me.
Oh,
Okay, we're good. I'll just sign.
Yeah. And then
Stay.
it's always, as long as you don't sign the middle of the fist,
Gotcha.
just your name and then like a little, message.
Wait, I don't remember do I need my last name?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that was smooth.
That was super smooth.
Okay. That was really big. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's perfectly fine.